Hello, welcome to Larry Master Architect YouTube channel. My name is Lawrence Manikam. In the last video, I explained about the new curriculum for Certified Kubernetes Administrator exam. In this video, I will give you a presentation about how to pass the Certified Kubernetes Administrator exam. Kubernetes is keep evolving. The opportunities are limitless. This certification will help you to get the right knowledge to find the right opportunities. Let's go to the presentation. Today's date is 23rd August 2020 from redpeppy.com. It is very important to practice. You have to practice at least 160 hours. That means 1 month of practice is important to pass the certification. Google Cloud is giving $300 credit. You can create an account. After you create the Google Cloud account, you have to create 3 nodes, 1 master node, 2 worker node. Do not create Google Kubernetes Engine. This Certified Kubernetes Administrator exam is all about installing Kubernetes in the hard way. So create 3 virtual machines, use kubeadm to start installing. Google support Ubuntu OS. I recommend Ubuntu OS. The exam will also have the Ubuntu OS shell for you. The links I give in the description, you can click on them and learn at your convenience. If you want to practice further, and if you don't want to stay in the Google Cloud, there is a product called Micro K8s. It's a single node Kubernetes cluster. You can download them for Windows or Linux. Very lightweight. You can practice all the commands and deployment or anything you want to do with Kubernetes. Kubectl King or Queen. You should become a king in Kubectl. I give the link for the cheat sheet. You have to go to the cheat sheet and practice every kubectl command against the cluster that you created before. All scenario questions based upon kubectl, you have to type kubectl to do your exam. So it is important to gain 100% knowledge in kubectl commands. The new curriculum from September 1 gives more importance to administration. You can expect 30% of questions from cluster, troubleshooting, install, and upgrade. I give some links here. You can use them, but you have to know how to troubleshoot. What if a worker node exit the cluster? What if an application fails? How you will troubleshoot. That is very important to practice and know to pass the exam. Role-based access control. Kubernetes give RBAC by default from the cluster application level. I give the link. You can click on the link and practice all those YAML and JSON files provided by Kubernetes. That is more than sufficient for the exam. Kubernetes objects. In my previous courses, Containers and Multi-Cloud Kubernetes, I spoke about Kubernetes objects in detail. Kubernetes supports more than 50 objects. You can also create your own object if you want to. However, it is very important to know the objects that I list here: pod, replica set, deployment, daemon set, ingress, and persistence volumes. I give the link here. You have to know how to create a pod, how to create the pod networking, how to do the deployment, roll back the deployment, create a service, and create ingress objects. Those things are very important for the exam. Application deployments. You have to know how to create a deployment using kubectl, how to roll back the deployment, and how to scale the applications. It is also important to understand the container registry, so you know how to write those images and definition into your YAML and JSON files. Networking. Pod networking is a critical piece when you build Kubernetes. There are tools like WaveNet, Flannel, Calico, and all. So you have to know how to install those CNI plugins, Container Networking Interface plugin, and create pod networking. Network policies are important. Kubernetes allows you to segregate the development, test, production environment within a cluster using network policies. So you have to know how to place those pods under each and every network policy. Load balancers and proxies are important. That's where the ingress controller and ingress object is coming. Logging and monitoring. Node level logging, cluster level logging, application logging. It is very important to know. You have to know how to use the kubectl commands to know the logging and understand the default monitoring of Kubernetes. Storage, look at the diagram. The whole storage is persistent volume and every door is the persistent volume client. So you have to learn the storage concept and how to allocate the storage to the pod. That is very important. The link is available here. etcd. etcd is the brain of Kubernetes. It's a key value per database. Whatever you see at kubectl, they're coming from etcd. Whatever you insert using kubectl, that goes to etcd. It is very important to know how to take the backup of etcd and then restore them in the event of failure. I give a course to you, Certified Kubernetes Administrator course, using my site www.redpeppy.com. You can use the promo code now, DoBaby CKA 2020. The course will be released on October 15th. Most probably, I will release the course earlier than October 15th. This course will have 75 scenarios to attempt the exam with a lot of whiteboard sessions. You can go and pre-order today. It is very important to have CKA certification to go for Certified Kubernetes Security Specialist. If you want to write that exam, you have to pass this exam as a prerequisite. I explained the syllabus in the last video. I go through it quickly. 25% cluster architecture, install and configuration. You have to know how RBAC works, how master node works, how to manage the highly available Kubernetes cluster. In the 15% workloads and scheduling, know about pod scheduling thoroughly, understand the networking between pods, understand the cluster IP, node port, load balancer service types. Also learn about core DNS and practice them. 20% goes to services and networking. Same thing, little detailed about how the pod networking works with various configuration around it. 10% storage, knows about persistent volume and persistent volume claim, and then how to access them, different access mode to get them. 30% troubleshooting, how to troubleshoot the cluster, understand the node cluster application logging, understand how to monitor application, how to get those logs using kubectl commands, then troubleshoot networking. If you get familiar with cluster architecture, workload and scheduling, then troubleshooting, you will have great opportunity to pass this Certified Kubernetes Administrator exam. Exam duration, new exam 2 hours. You can expect questions, maximum 20 questions. This exam is in beta state. Once CNCF will launch the exam on September 1st, we will come to know more about it. Currently, the expected passing score is 75%. Scoring pattern, 3 patterns, 4%, 7%, and 8% scoring for each question. 60 to 70% questions come from clusters troubleshooting and Kubernetes operations. There is a decreased focus on config maps and secrets because CNCF will introduce Certified Kubernetes Security Specialist certification in November. So what changed in the new syllabus? 15% logging, monitoring, and troubleshooting went up, 3% storage went up, 2% cluster architecture went up. Security 12% went down because of the separate CKA certification. Core concepts 10% went down. If you have any questions, you can write the questions at the comment. I will try to answer as much as possible. Go to redpeppy.com and buy my course. That course will help you to learn Kubernetes and also pass the certification. Thank you for watching.